at that meeting on December 31st, 2025, decided to take God seriously. It really felt like he's saying, take your marriage, take yourself seriously this year. That means do the hard things sometimes. If you're tired at the end of the day, but you've committed to this, do it because you're taking yourself seriously.
Do you find yourself wondering if this is all marriage has to offer? Are you so busy and exhausted at the end of the day that your marriage is the last thing you have energy to think about?
If you're wondering if God has more for your marriage, you've come to the right place. Welcome to the Living Marriages Podcast. My name is Aaron, pastor and marriage coach.
And I'm April, spiritual director and marriage coach. Join us as we explore simple habits for building intimacy with your spouse while learning what it means to center your marriage on Christ.
Welcome to the Living Marriages Podcast. And if you're listening along in real time with us, Happy New Year. It is 2026, and we're thrilled that you've decided to start your new year with us. Today's episode, well, it was inspired by a conversation that we had with some good friends of ours last year.
End of last year?
End of last year. Our good friends Chris and Christy Harper came on the podcast and gave us such an inspiring vision for how we can really check in with each other and how we can not only look at the year that was, but look ahead to the year that God has for us. And if you want to go back and check out that episode, it was episode 91, a really fun conversation with two people who really love Jesus and who are following him for his best in their marriage. And so we kind of took their practice to heart and we made it our own. I think we met, when was it, on the 31st?
I feel like it was, New Year's Eve. Yeah, we left it to the last day, but hey, we still did it.
We did it, and it was great. And we, as Chris had mentioned in episode 91, we didn't set any New Year's resolutions because those don't work, apparently.
There's research.
We didn't set resolutions, but we did kind of take some advice from other friends too, where they've been learning to set intentions, kind of a daily habit that they're doing. So want to set the intention for the day, and from there things kind of unfold well as you kind of stick close to your intention. And we thought, what would that look like if we set an intention for the year? Mm-hmm. And God gave us a doozy of an intention.
For us, anyway.
Yeah, for us. Maybe this is not for everyone, but for us,
yeah, we really felt like God was asking us to take things seriously this year. Take ourselves seriously individually and what we want for ourselves and what we feel God is calling us to. Our marriage, being intentional and saying this is a priority. And with our kids too, as a family, what do we want to take seriously this year and not just let things slide into this year and continue to keep the same habits we had this last year, whether good or bad. Yeah. This has given us the opportunity to reflect on the good and keep that, and also look at what we want to change. Mm-hmm.
Because we realized as we were talking, and I think we both had a frustration with certain things in 2025. There was a lot of good and a lot to be grateful for, but there was a lot where we thought, how did we end up here? Mm-hmm. For instance, how is our house always a mess?
Nobody else feels that, right? Nobody else's house is a mess, especially people with young kids.
That's right. That's not. But or how do we, recording a podcast, how do we always feel like we're kind of in scramble mode, trying to make sure we have episodes to catch up on, and just it feels like I'm working 4 or 5 jobs, it feels like, and we just never have enough time. And
not
always,
just it feels like, I think you actually
might actually be doing, 4 or 5 very part-time things, but they all add up. Mm-hmm. And it felt like we were scrambling, like just we were chasing life. Mm-hmm. We were chasing life, and it didn't feel good, and it wasn't great for our marriage or our family. And so we, at that meeting on December 31st, 2025, decided to take God seriously and take his word for us seriously and his intention for us seriously. It really felt like he's saying, take your marriage, take yourself seriously this year.
Mm-hmm.
That means do the hard things sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're tired at the end of the day, but you've committed to this, do it because you're taking yourself seriously. I know you just want to go and sit and down and watch a show or something, but you've committed to getting those dishes off the counter or out of the sink.
Mm-hmm.
Take yourself seriously. Do that.
Because you know you'll appreciate it the next day. And that's one thing for myself. So we kind of set some intentions and decided to take ourselves seriously in a few different areas, like I said earlier. So personally, that is one thing that we really appreciate, having a clean kitchen in the morning. And so together, that's something that we've taken on in regards to our house.
Yep.
And the chaos that surrounds us and how to minimize that chaos just a little bit. Also, something individually for us is that we're committed to eating healthier. And so we've started today to really get back on that, eating healthy and exercising regularly. For our marriage, you want to tell them what we planned for our marriage?
Well, you took the initiative, which I was so grateful for, but April reached out to a friend of ours, a girl who lives here in our neighborhood, who our boys get along amazingly with, and she's babysat for them before. And she said, would you be able to babysit for us twice a month on Wednesday evenings? And so every first and third Wednesday now of the month, we know we're guaranteed a date night where we can go out, know that the kids are having a great time, and that we ourselves can have fun and invest in our marriage. And that was another huge thing. It feels like these are all New Year's resolutions as we're saying them.
Yeah, but I think there's concrete things that we've done to make sure that it's not just us upholding these things, because our history is that we're not actually that great at upholding commitments that we make to ourselves, right? Commitments to other people is one thing. If there's an expectation that we're supposed to be somewhere or do something, yes, of course.
We'll be there.
But commitments to ourselves have always been a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. Wow. That's huge. And I think that is where it feels like God is circling this plane now and landing this in this episode. For you, our listeners, are you taking yourself seriously this year? Where's God asking you to, if you were going to keep a commitment to someone else, but not yourself, why not? Why would you do that for someone else, but not yourself? And so how is God maybe asking you to commit to yourself something this year, or to commit to your marriage something this year? And maybe you're listening and it's not the beginning of the new year. April, you had a great point about this too, because we don't know when you're tuning into this episode. It could be the middle of summer and you're listening. But April, you had a great point about that. Yeah,
there is never a time that is not good for a restart. Any time you look at life and go, you know what, I could really use some more intentionality. I haven't been taking myself seriously. I haven't been taking my marriage seriously. Tomorrow is a great day to start, or today. And keep it small, because that's a mistake that I make often, is that I try to do everything all at once. And almost every time when I try to bite off more than I can chew, it lasts for a week or two and then it all falls apart. So wherever you are during the year as you're listening to this, consider whether God is asking you to kind of take a look at what life has looked like over the last several months. And whether he might be inviting you into something more intentional.
And I don't want you, our listeners, to feel overwhelmed by what April and I have committed to at the beginning of this year as well, because as I'm going through the list in our head, okay, wow, house clean, exercise, eating better, better organized. It's a lot. But as I was thinking about that, it's actually things we felt God's asked us to do before, and we've put some scaffolding in place to be able to do that. We just never stuck with it. We weren't committed to it. So we're not committing to 5 new things that all of a sudden we're just going to feel, like April, you were saying, overwhelmed by, because we're trying to do way too many things. We're telling you, we've had these things in our consciousness in the past, in our desire to really incorporate into our lives in the past. And so there's scaffolding there already. It just feels like God's saying, now do it. Like, stick to it, commit to it, and keep going with it. Yeah. So we're not saying start 5 new things and give up after 2 weeks.
And I think even within the things that we've committed to, they don't feel unreasonable to me right now at this point. Maybe we should do another episode in a month or 2 and see how we've done with sticking to this stuff.
Yeah. But let that be an encouragement to you too. And the other encouragement, give yourself grace. April and I, before recording today, had what is a new thing for us again. Well, not new, but again, sticking to it. A business meeting for Living Marriages podcast. We, before coming on air, have committed to once a week planning these episodes better, mapping things ahead. And it felt so great to be able to sit down and do that. But we didn't get to everything on our list. And it's okay, because we need to give ourselves grace as well as we take on these new habits or commit to following through on old habits that we know are healthy and good. So that's our... Oh, you have something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you reminded me as you were saying that. In terms of my own personal journey with exercise and trying to stay fit, I went through several years of starting and then lasting a little while and then having to stop for whatever reason, getting sick or scheduling or whatever, and then beating myself up when I didn't get back to it as soon as I thought I should. And thankfully, God brought me to a place a few years ago where now, in regards to exercise anyways, and this could apply to other parts of life too, it's okay to not have done things perfectly for a period of time because life happens. It's also important to get back at it. And so if your kids are sick or you are sick and you miss a couple of date nights in a row, don't let it fall apart. Don't let it just kind of fade off into the distance. Get back to it again. It's better to get back to something that was good than to wallow in the shame or the self-deprecation of, oh, I didn't do it the way I planned to do it. So,
no, all of these things are meant for your good. I feel like God is just reminding us that these things, we can become legalistic about them so easily. And he's like, no, this is about your marriage becoming alive in me. This is about you becoming more fully the human being I've created you to be. And so these habits, these hopes are really designed to bring life. And sometimes they'll be hard work. But it should never feel like, oh no, if I don't do this, I'm a failure or I'm not good enough or any of that. That's the enemy speaking. So listen to God's voice. Listen to how he's encouraging you into life.
And keep talking to God. Keep connecting with your spouse. Reassess. Try something for a month. If it needs to change, plan a conversation ahead of time. Say, okay, let's try this for a month. And on the first Sunday of next month, let's sit down and have a conversation and see how things are going. Does anything need to change? Do we need to take anything out? Do we need to add anything? I think the most important part of it is building that communication between you and your spouse and between you and God and you and yourself. If there are things that you're committing to personally, sometimes what we bite off is actually more than we can chew. But that doesn't mean that we just spit it all out.
No.
Right? Like our kids do sometimes. right? We sometimes we just have to make a little adjustment.
Yeah.
And so I encourage you to start.
Please start.
And tweak things as you need to.
Yeah. Give yourselves grace. And know that you're not alone, too. April and I have been talking about the books we've been reading as resources to help with this, and we'll include some of those in the show notes. We've referenced some of them before on the podcast, and you'll find them in the show notes. And if you want some community and accountability around some things that you want to start taking seriously for your marriage and for yourselves this year, hey, shoot us an email, info@livingmarriages.com. We'll be happy to check in with you. We'll be happy to pray with you and pray for you. So want to start creating, feels like God's even now starting this to create a sense of community around this podcast. So, and you'll hear more about what that could look like in the coming weeks. But hey, this could be a good first step for you. Just shoot us an email, info@livingmarriages.com. We'd be thrilled to hear from you and to be able to pray for you. We're going to have a chance to have a time of reflection and prayer with you on the Thursday Thought coming up. So that will be episode 96. Do tune in for that. But until next time, God bless.
Thank you for the privilege of journeying with you today as we seek God's best for our marriages.
Before you go, if you've been blessed, challenged, or inspired by what you've heard today, please bless us by hitting the follow button, leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and sharing this podcast with family and friends.
You can also support this nonprofit podcast by making a charitable donation at our website, livingmarriages.com.
Until next time, praying the life, intimacy, and connection of God's love over you and your marriage.